Good evening. Welcome to garblaggames and episode 2 of our second season of Shadows of Apostasy, an Imperium Maladictum game. If you haven't already, please visit the Discord channel where we have a great community. And if you'd like to support the channel, there is a Patreon. Links will be in the post description below. Also, please do like and subscribe. It does help the channel. I know all of these people do say the same thing, but it is true. I'm Richard, the GM for tonight. Let's meet the cast.
I'm not Aaron, but I do know my alphabet, and B comes after A. So, hi, I'm Ben. I'm going to be playing Tessera Lothos, the moody, sullen, penumbral spy assassin sniper.
My name is Jan, and I am playing Zilch in Adeptus Mechanicus. And thanks to our great Arbeiter, the current possessor of an Allspex.
Yeah, hi, I'm Rob. I'm playing Dr. Timian, the Psyker.
Hi, I'm Roger, and I'm playing Hex Cato, the Schola Progenium raised former member of the Adeptus Arbites.
And as you can see, sadly, Aaron hasn't been able to join us this evening. Hope we'll see him next week. So let me just check one thing I forgot to check before we went live, because I'm an idiot. I noticed last time when I was kind of watching things back that I seem to be quite quiet. So let me just check my microphone settings, make sure I'm projecting. No, I'm at full. I'm at max. That's cool. Right. So last time we left it, you'd gotten to the deck, the first deck of the area of this dark sector of this ship, and you'd started moving your way through. We did get massively far because of a bit of lead up, obviously. And you got into, I think you got into a fourth room, which had like a corpse starch generator, which Zilch was most impressed with because it was a large piece of nice tech.
Yeah.
And you had fought off a bunch of swarms of mutant rats. Now, I'm probably going to say that Harrow detects something psychically because he is also a psyker. For anyone who didn't watch episode 1, and again, if you didn't, why not? And he is going to be using his powers for this session, investigating, guarding against, potentially dealing with, and he will catch up when Aaron is able to return. So, what do you guys want to be doing next?
So we basically hit a bit of a dead end here, haven't we, if I remember correctly?
Well,
No,
the rats have gone, but there's
No,
a
the
way
opposite.
forward.
There are loads of doors.
Yeah, but I thought, didn't we think that no one had been here in a long time?
This particular room, yes.
Oh,
But
But we've got a single door out to the south, 2 out to the north, and
there are 2 on the wall behind. It's basically it's a hexagonal room, barring the 2 corners either side to the rear being cut diagonally. There's the door at the middle of that is where you came in. There is a door on each of those diagonal surfaces. There's a door on the left. There's 2 doors ahead, one in the middle, one slightly to the left, and 3 to the right. Now, I'm quite happy to say that you have access to the plans that were given to you by your briefing officer and by the captain. They aren't necessarily going to be exactly accurate, but you can see enough to know where this is where the Gellerfield node should be. This is where the power conduits should be. And this is where areas to get to the lower levels should be. So I'm happy for you guys to either go room by room or to go, well, we are heading for insert appropriate location. We can just narratively cover the travel rather than dungeon bash. Depends on what you guys want to do.
I mean, well, we know that there's certainly been some activity around the area because obviously we found the rather gruesome 8-pointed star made of arms. So I guess we would search the immediate area and try and find any further sign of who'd done it.
Sure. I will point out that the door to get between the previous room, which led on to that room with the 8-pointed star, and the room you're currently in, was very tightly shut. It took Harrow and his power sword to open that door. No, that doesn't necessarily mean that they couldn't do it and it's not been mushed shut on purpose. But it did look fairly badly corroded and jammed. So it may well be that that's longer lasting than you think it is, or that someone on board the ship, current crew, may have been involved.
Well, there's no harm in being thorough and checking at least the immediate area, just in case.
Sure, no worries. Okay, so
Perhaps Silch could see if she could find anything on the specs.
Yeah, I'll have a look.
while she has use of it. I did discover post-game last week that in this version of the game, corruption is a bit more dangerous than it was in Dark Heresy. My initial thought process, because I hadn't read it properly, because again, I'm an idiot, was every 10 points you needed to roll or take a mutation or some such. It's not. When your toughness bonus and your willpower bonus, that's the maximum you can take without having to worry about mutations and the like. So if you've got a toughness and willpower combined of 6, then you can take 6 points of corruption before potentially bad things happen. So, yeah.
Bad things being
Like a roll?
getting shot for being heretic, right?
Well, that's, tech roll for you, Janet.
Yep.
Yeah, bad things, including that, but also potential mutations, malignancies, that sort of thing.
That's just a sign of weakness of character.
All of which generally result in a bolt to the back of the head.
I call upon the spirit of the machine to heed my command and show me what is unseen to us. And rolled 2 degrees of success.
Nice. Your tech priest, your cog boy, or cog girl, intones this prayer to the machine. The lights of it light up and spring to life, and the whole the noise, the thrumming noise of this machine starting fills the room. What you pick up on the screen, there's life signs around which intimate towards more rat-sized creatures, pockets of them. So probably other swarms, at least one of which is the swarm that ran away from you. But there are other things which are slightly larger. From the looks of things with this, you can see that there appears to be a group of either multiple swarms, decent sized swarms, moving around with another swarm about 100 feet ahead. Or there are about half a dozen humanoids going after someone else or something else that is approximately humanoid size, which again, it could be a swarm of rats or it could be another humanoid. This is about 200 feet to your right. So down one of those 3 corridors, or possibly down any of those 3 corridors. You don't know exactly what the layout is. In theory, based on your map, those 3 go to the same location, but again, they could have been modified. Is there anything else you're looking for with your 2 degrees of success? 2 success levels, I should say, to use the appropriate terminology.
Just to find out if there's anything, what's where that we can't actually see.
Okay. So far, with your auspex, there appears to be there's those things that you've detected, as I say, life signs wise. You can pick up a little bit of the architecture, and so far what you're picking up seems to match what you have on your map so far.
Okay. It looks like the map's good then.
I think we should check out the life signs if they are humanoids. Could lead us towards some of the cultists.
Yes.
No problem. So unless someone wants to do anything different, I'm presuming you're just heading straight toward those life signs.
Yeah. I direct the party in the hopefully appropriate direction.
Sure. So
I would like to sneak on ahead then.
No worries.
Okay.
As you're looking over to the right, there's, as I say, there's 3 doorways. 2 of them actually have doors in them. The third one doesn't. The one sort of nearest to the middle of the that wall. So I'm guessing you're more likely to have gone through the open doorway rather than
Yeah, because we know
No.
they've taken doors off to use them as barriers and bulkheads, so that would suggest that they're there.
Yeah, no worries.
Plus, it's a lot quieter not having to open a door.
Yeah. So can I have a stealth roll?
Yes,
Tessera.
yes, you can.
How's my volume, by the way? Is it okay?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Stealth or hide? No, stealth for now. 2 degrees of success.
Nice. Okay, so you the rest of you see Tessera just sort of move away quietly, and then you quickly lose sight as she goes through the doorway. Are the rest of you hanging back, or are you just giving it like 10-20 meters or what have you?
I'll pause to give him a bit of a head start, and then I'm going to start moving quietly in that direction.
Sure.
Yep, I shall follow.
Likewise.
Okay, so you Tessera, and obviously you guys you'll see this when you go through afterwards. You head down this through this doorway. It narrows a little, going after about a meter or 2, going straight forward to what looks like another corridor going across. It's a good 10 meters away from you. To the left, as soon as you get past the first meter or so, there's kind of almost like why they put it there, you have no idea. But there appear to be each of those 3 doors leads into this sort of side horizontal corridor that you're just getting into. So you can see directly to where these doorways are. It makes no sense. This is actually a map I actually downloaded and I'm using as my map. It's a proper 40K one. So yeah, okay. And then beyond that, the same again. But that one, the second corridor across, seems to go further, probably twice the length, and there's a door at the far end. And then going straight ahead, you breach this side corridor. I'm quite happy for you to be taking your time and being cautious and peeking around corners. Sensible stuff. The last corridor goes left and right. The left-hand side goes around a corner. Right-hand side seems to have another doorway. And ahead of you on this wall are 2 doors. You're fairly sure that it's either in past these doors or possibly around that left-hand where it turns to the right, which may go alongside or behind this.
Check the one that doesn't involve opening doors first, because that will be sneakier.
Yep, no worries, no worries. Okay, so you head along to the left, peek your head around. About this time, the rest of you are probably getting to this corner. So you're seeing Tessera just sort of stick her head around the corner. Corridor heads off. There's a left-hand turn about halfway along. No sign of everybody here. And then on the right-hand side, a bit further along, there's at least one right-hand side. So it's almost like it's a sort of a reverse C shape around.
Well,
Yeah.
if I see our scout, I will pause and wait longer.
Sure.
Because obviously they're not going to want the rest of us.
Club. I'll sub-vocalize into my Vox speed then to give them an idea of the door options.
No worries. Can I have from Tessera an awareness test? This is hearing based if you have an appropriate specialization.
I do not, except for ever vigilant. Always forget about ever
That'll
vigilant.
count. That'll count.
Okay. What does ever vigilant do again? It's extra success level.
Yeah, +1 success level to detect hidden enemies.
Okie dokie. In which case that is 37, which is better than 42. So that's 2 degrees of success.
37. That's 1 success level.
It's
You're on
second
30
number.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's you take the tens the unit and you subject what you rolled from what you need to roll.
Yep.
But that's 1 success level on the dice. Yes.
Yeah, and then an extra one from ever vigilant.
Perfect. No worries. Which I realize now is probably what you were talking about.
Totally.
Okay, no problem. So you hear these guys behind you, and they do, Hector does a thing, whether it be tapping the microbead or just quietly whispering into it.
Yeah, I mean, because well, if Tessa does because we're all taught signals in the Schola Progenium, so if they did that as a signal, then Hector would immediately understand.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because we're
Well,
both
I mean,
Scholar Progenium.
It's very obvious I'm an Arbite, so there's a significant probability I'm from the Schola Progenium.
So for the other two, you might think there's some kind of feedback or something. That's unusual signals you're not familiar with. But Hector will stop where he is, and I say, Tessa,
Yeah. I mean, I'd also indicate to stop, making it clear to the others.
I'm behind Hector, and I'm happy to stay behind Hector. So if he stops, I'm not going to think, oh, I'll walking around ahead of him. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's what Harrow's for.
Especially with that shotgun. But I say you're aware of them behind and to your right. But as you're probably just about to think, well, that looks empty, and you may either be decided to go further down that way or come back to one of the doors. And at that point, you hear movement ahead of you and just around the corner. So it's kind of, you've come along this way, done the right-hand turn, and then there's a left-hand turn past, well, probably most, if not all of this space that you believe is a room. You hear sounds of footfalls around that corner.
Okay, I will hide and get ready to shoot guy.
No problem. This is probably a good 50 meters to the corner
from
where you currently are.
Oh, good. That sniper rifle finally comes in clutch.
So that I would guesstimate probably the longest medium range, probably short range. Trying to find the ranges on my ref screen. I have to say, if I haven't already mentioned this time around, the ref screen for Imperium Maladictum is really good. It's one of the best ref screens I've come across. No,
Cubicle 7 are normally pretty good with them, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found that with Soulbound. That was a really good GM screen.
Yeah, and the Doctor Who Adventures in Time and Space, I thought was quite a good one as well. Although I'm still using first edition with the second edition rules there. But there you go. Okay, so yeah, it's probably, sorry, how far did I say?
About 50 meters, I think.
50. In which case, yeah, that's extreme range. In this, the ranges are, yes, the ranges are very strange. Short range is up to 10, medium up to 20, long range up to 30, extreme range up to 40 and beyond.
That's weird.
It is very strange.
That's okay. I have extreme range with the sniper rifle.
No problem. So you settle yourself in. I won't make you make a hide roll. I have to take your stealth roll from previously, and we'll just roll that around. And you've got a corner to hide against. The rest of you, you see Tessera kind of settle in and almost lose sight as just there's a slightly deeper area of shadow where she took position, and don't see any movement for probably several breaths.
To be honest, I'm going to hold position until I receive the signal.
Yeah, I'd give the contact signal when I drop into position as well.
Okay, then I will advance slowly.
No problem. And as this, I say breaths because it's the sniper thing of get position and then slowly get into the breathing rhythm so that when it comes to the point you need to properly aim and fire, you can do that hold breath for pulling the trigger. And within a couple of breaths, a humanoid sort of comes into view. Now, if I recall correctly, you've got the contact lenses for the
the photovisor lenses.
Yeah. Actually, that was the word I was looking for. Did I mention I lose words? Words are hard. So a form comes into view. Obviously human based. I say human based because the scales that you can see down the side of its neck and kind of quills coming out of its shoulder say something slightly different.
They say, "Shoot me, I'm a heretic."
The obvious question is, let's make this a intuition roll. Give me an intuition roll.
You're quite good at that.
Going to give you +10.
In which case, 47 is what I rolled. And my intuition is 41.
Is that with or without the +10?
That's without the +10, so it'd be 57 beats 41.
Indeed.
1 degree.
Indeed. What occurs to you as you look is this individual is nervous, trying to be stealthy, more concerned with what's behind than in your direction. Although attention is being paid in all directions as much as is possible for anybody.
Is it armored or not?
It's not armored at all. Wearing rags, looking a little emaciated.
Okay. In that case, I'll also hit the fire selector for a bleeder round.
No worries. So just go for it. I mean, they have noticed you, so effectively you're getting an ambush round. There is a rule for that, in fact. Put my drink down. Where's the rule? Because I wrote it down today because I was reading stuff. Dangerous reading stuff. You get advantage on your attack because they're not aware of you. Attacking from hidden is what the reward is called. And if you're successful, you automatically inflict a critical.
Good luck on the advantage. That's a 44.
Which, as long as that's a hit, is a critical anyway.
Yep, that is a hit. So it is a critical, testing against a 52.
So with the way the criticals work, I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it gives you a plus on your roll. Oh no, it gives you advantage in this one, I think. So roll. Actually, what was the unit's number of your hit? 4. Okay, so location 4, because in another thing I like about this particular version is it uses the tens unit for certain things, but it uses the units number for location, which is good. So that would be the left leg. So give me a D10. You have advantage because you've got an extra. You got a critical anyway. So you effectively got two free kills. You pick the best. You pick the one you want.
High or low? Because I've got a 2 and an 8.
You want high if it's going to anybody else. If it's going to you, you want low.
Okay, that's an 8 then.
Okay, so a deep cut. You suffer a deep gash to your leg, reducing your effectiveness. You are bleeding major.
It also inflicts bleeding from the round.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it only goes to major, so it is just bleeding. So let's make a note of that quickly. Bleeding major and have disadvantage on all tests using the leg, such as jumping or climbing, or possibly running. And bleeding, we had that last time, if I recall, but on a number of people. Suffer damage, nasty. Suffer 3 damage at the end of your turn, which ignores armor.
Also 8 damage from the shot.
I was about to ask. Okay, so bleeding is no, bleeding is not irrelevant. So minus any armor it may have, which it didn't have any. So I'll modify this character sheet appropriately because I think, yeah, it makes sense for that one not to have any. So 8 becomes that. Okay, no problem. You take a shot, you hit it solidly in the leg. Yeah, you may have been aiming for torso and it just moved in the wrong direction, or you were aiming for the leg and particularly to
stopping it from running.
Yeah, exactly. Tactical move. There is you've got a silencer on this, don't you?
Yeah.
So the only noise you guys really hear is someone basically making a ow ooh ya bugger noise, which is probably something along the lines of "oh shit." So we'll call this the start of combat. So let me move my map out of the way. My very strange things I'm using to hold my map down, which include an eraser and a war hamster appropriately, but not the war hamster 40,000. So start. He is on initiative that. So I'll add him onto the list. Right, okay, so first person to go would be Zilch.
How far away is he?
You are about 80 meters away from it because you're 30 meters down the corridor.
Yeah.
Possibly moving slightly. You might be a bit closer because actually I think Hector was saying he was moving forward at the time. So depending on how quickly, you may be as little as, let's say, 65 meters. So you could get to the corner with a move action relatively easily, and then you'd be 50 meters away. You could continue around the corner a little bit if you want, but I don't think you can get to there without using your full both actions to
Okay.
move up.
Can I get to Tessera?
Yes. Yes.
I will take my action to move up to Tessera, ready to administer some Medicae.
Okay. Tessera hasn't been hurt.
I thought so. It was shot in the leg.
Yeah,
No,
that
no,
was me doing the shooting.
Yes.
Ah.
No problem.
I was listening.
I mean, one thing you could
Your
do...
description of the bleeding was so good. I transferred it to the wrong person. I'll still get up and get behind Tessera to use as a protection.
No problem. I mean, you can be on the other side of the corner side that you're on, so they can't possibly hit you anyway.
Okay.
And use your optical mechadendrite to look around the corner.
Yep. Let's see what else I can see.
No problem. That's a minor action to get that far. So you could,
Okay.
in theory, have a major action, which include things like I'm going to go through all of them, even though obviously you're not ready to. You can't be doing some of them. It's aim, attack, charge, defend, which is you defend an ally, disengage, see not relevant, dodge, flee, grapple, help, hide, improvise, manifest, which is not relevant because you're not a psyker, move, which you've already done, overwatch, reload, retreat, run, search, seize the initiative, shove, there's a lot of actions here, take cover, target location, and use object or feature. Those are the combat actions.
Well, I don't think I'm too far to actually be able to do anything weapons-wise.
Yeah.
I'll move forward and hide so that I'm further ready.
No problem. No problem. That's fine. You can absolutely do that. You can make a stealth test and use the environment to hide. I'm assuming you're still saying just this side of Tessera.
Yeah.
No worries.
Simple success.
Okay, no problem. You'll get at least +1 success level on the basis that there's a wall between you and anyone down that corridor.
Yeah. Okay.
If anyone gets around the corner, it'll go down to your normal roll. That's fine. Okay, so that was that. So that leaves us with on 7, initiative 7, Hector and Harrow. Now Harrow obviously isn't with us, so Hector.
So when it comes to weapon ranges, can you fire beyond your weapon's range?
That's a very good question.
Because I was wondering if it's a penalty or if you just flat can't.
You swing your arm and curve the bullet while you're shooting it.
That is how physics works. I saw a documentary about that.
No problem. It's been a while since we played this, all of us, so let me just quickly check range. Yeah, that's fairly obvious. We know what that means. Okay, let's go to the other page that it's now pointing me at. Okay, range. Here we go. So make a target within your weapon's range that you can see. So it's a hard cap.
Okie dokie.
Hold on. And then it's going to something else that I've just seen. Ballistic weapons have a range that indicates how far a target can be before you start to suffer a penalty. So, short range, medium range, long range. Attacks beyond your weapon's range impose disadvantage. Which means you roll 2 dice, pick the worst.
Sure.
2.
All right. Let's give it a crack then.
Oh, sorry, no, that's another game entirely, isn't it? Disadvantage is roll 2 dice, and you have to reverse the dice if it's worse for you.
Yeah. So if you roll a 15, it would become a 51.
Yes.
All right.
It doesn't feel that long ago that we played season 1, and my brain has gone.
All right. Well, I rolled a 40, which is the worst of the results, I suppose.
No problem.
So I'd rather have a 4. And that's enough. No success levels. It's just a flat hit. So I basically just move up to the end of the corridor, lean round, and
No problem. Center of mass.
because
Hit.
you need stealth.
Yes. Someone hiding in the corner. You quietly.
It's all right. You'll be better at
looking.
hiding. Now they've just heard a colossal kaboom.
And then you hear someone clump past, and then there's a probably followed by an extraordinarily abnormally loud chunk chunk. Okay, so that's a hit. What is your base damage?
Question 8.
8. Okay. Would you care to describe how this individual ceases to be a person?
So Hector's been spending a bit of time on the range, getting back familiar with his Arbite combat shotgun, and it's just got his old drill master in his head going, aim for the head, aim for the head, aim for the head. So he literally leans around the corner, sees him, pulls it up, aims, loud bang, and
The
you
target
just
cannot press a button if it does not have a head.
and you just see the kind of guy turn around after hearing the clunk clunk from the initial loading, at which point the solid shot just hits him, makes a small
shot.
hole in the front of the head.
Just to be clear, it
and
was a
then
body
big-
shot, not a head shot.
Oh,
Head is one. Body is it?
Okay.
Body is it? Oh, he moves in the wrong direction. He moves again slightly.
okay, all right. It hits him just below the neck.
No problem.
Very small hole going in, very big hole going out the other side.
No problem. So you're fairly sure if you get up to where that wall is, you wouldn't notice the difference on that wall, because of the level of general, what's the polite word?
Detritus.
Yeah, that'll do. Wasn't the word I was going to use, but that was actually
Scum.
polite. Yeah,
Filth.
yeah. On the wall, but maybe it'd be slightly wet, slightly more moist. And for a second, this guy just kind of stands there, shocked look on his face, and then hits the deck.
Lord Flashheart going to decorate the wall in a new color called Hint of Brain.
Yep. You. Actually, can everybody make me an awareness test? This is going to be sound based. If anyone has an appropriate specialization.
37. I think I'm quite good at perception.
Clearly being underneath a shotgun going off did me no favors because I got an 89 on that.
Yeah, I was actually going to say that I think Tessera gets disadvantage for that very reason.
In which case I got 98.
2 success levels, unless I also get disadvantage.
No.
But I am ever vigilant, so I get a success level from that, right?
Oh, if it's detecting
Yep.
hidden enemies, 3 success levels.
Yes, I think it would.
Because I also have ever vigilant.
Yeah. No worries.
Simple success.
Okay.
Yeah, and I failed.
Okay. Everybody who succeeds, you do hear the sound of footfalls, obviously running the opposite direction from a little bit further around that corridor. You're guessing, based if it's anything like what you got in the Auspex originally, they're probably a good 10 meters behind that first person.
Run after them time.
Okay. Everybody running after them time?
What are we running after? What is that thing?
Heretics.
Yeah, but everything's a heretic to you. What is it specifically?
At this point, I believe Hector is basically almost turning
I'm
the
just
corner.
running, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, well, okay, sure.
no problem. At this point, we cue the hilarity of the old black and white silent movie chase music.
Going through lots of doors in different directions.
Tessera, what are you doing? He's just
If
pelted past you.
if the Arbites is pelted past, I'm going to have to move up and provide covering fire and support when he inevitably runs into trouble.
No problem. Dr. Zibian, what is your thought?
My thoughts are how rude when I was in the middle of a conversation. But sure, I'll run and watch him blow something else's head off, and yeah, fabulous. Let's run after that.
Dilch, what are you planning?
Oh, I thought I'd stay behind.
I'm pleased just to say I'm behind all guns.
I shall move out slightly ahead of Dr. Simeon so that my gun isn't behind him.
Thank you.
So I know it makes you feel very uncomfortable.
It is. Some phobias are irrational. This is what is a rational phobia.
No problem. Your chest is itching a little, Dr. Simeon, by the way. You're just getting a little bit of an itch.
Did I not use my ointment this morning?
Well, apparently not.
My unexploded bolt shell.
Yes, it's just a little itchy. Just a little itchy.
Fabulous. That means it's going to rain soon.
And as if on cue. No problem. Hector, you pelt down the corridor, followed at various levels of distance by the rest of your group. And as you reach the corner, you just get there as you see, turning off the corridor you're on, turning left, is the back of a person. You're fairly sure you're hearing maybe a half a dozen people. And they are...
Yeah, I guess that from the Auspex, but yeah, I'm going to continue running.
No worries. No worries. So the chase continues, and by the time you get to that corner, it's a dog leg. There's actually a bit behind you as well on the next corridor. It's kind of, this corridor goes into another corridor. On the side of a room, they're carrying on the direction they were going, and you see two of them about to go around a corner, going again right.
The corridor breaks into two directions, and the Arbite goes one way. I will look the other way before following.
No problem. It's a work of a moment. Put you slightly further behind the RBT, but that's not a problem. Looking behind, it goes pretty much to the full length of the corridor you just turned off to get onto here. And there's a door at the far end on the right hand side. So the corridor goes alongside what probably is a room. There's a doorway there that seems to lead there. No one in the corridor. No sign.
That was the important thing. As long as there's nobody behind us.
Yeah, not an ambush point. Not a, oh crap, there was a gene stealer patriarch that was hiding there going. Problem. So I think we're basically being led by Hector at the moment.
I'm running. I'm trying to catch them.
Well, if that'll we stop and let him get horribly murdered by a gang of cultists.
No.
Don't think it hadn't crossed all of our minds.
So Hector, can I have an athletics roll?
Sure, why not? Oh, yeah, you certainly can. I rolled a 1.
No.
That's 3 success levels.
Nice, which is adding 2 success levels from the dice roll I made for them. So you get 2 bonus success levels on that.
Asthmatic cultists.
Yeah. Wouldn't be the first time. Last season we had people trying to defend against our guardsman with the chainsword, made such a lousy roll she did 2 or 3 points of extra damage.
I mean, to be fair, they might not be particularly well fed compared to, us.
You by the time you get to the next corner, looking right, you can see half a dozen people. They are running to their fullest ability, which is not great. They had a bit of an advantage. You've cut that advantage down dramatically.
Chicken feet will do that to you, mutie.
Yeah.
I mean, do they look like mutants?
Oh, yes. Yes. I mean, you've got a variety of things. One or two of them don't look from the back particularly mutant, but
I mean,
the
if
rest-
some of them look like mutants, that's good enough for me.
yeah, I mean, you've got a variety of. You've got one guy who's got massive ears, kind of think fennec fox ears, but drooping and down to the waist.
They're not like Grandad is, they?
No.
Perhaps drinking medicinal compound.
Can I see? Are they armed?
Yes, they all seem to have some kind of melee weapon. All of these melee weapons look like they have been made.
All right. Can I snap off a shot as I chase them?
Yeah, I'll allow you to do one snap off shot at the moment as a kind of a reaction kind of thing, almost because you've used both of your actions to make most of the movement. But I'm going to give you again disadvantage on this shot because it's a snapshot.
45, 54. No, that'll miss.
So you let off a shot and you're so close to hitting someone, but just you're kind of coming into. I'm guessing you're kind of stumbling to a stop to try to get yourself into a proper.
It's just kind of as I skid round a corner, firing the shotgun before continuing to run.
Yeah, no problem. There's a chunk of wall missing about 2 inches from the last one's head, and kind of he sort of ducks as he sort of bolts through a doorway that's at the far end of this corridor. Okay, so I think what we'll do. You are close enough. Basically, a minor action should get you close enough to be able to hit at least one, to shoot at least one of them. So if we go again, we'll go into combat proper, but we'll start with, I think, the person after yourself, because first of all, you finished the last combat, and secondly, you're just sent off shot, so start from there. Dr. Zimian Tessera, you are next, which is actually appropriate because you're the next person in the chase.
Okay, stop, drop, and shoot.
No problem.
Oh, yeah, they're going to feel that. 37 versus 52. So, yeah, that is a hit.
No problem. As you're using your action you get around the corner slightly behind him, you can use your minor action to get where you're going, your major action to actually shoot. So you don't get any benefit of aim, but to be honest, unless you've got the dead shot talent, aiming is not a huge amount of use unless you're firing really far away. But no problem, you have hit.
Okay, there's still a bleed around because I haven't reset it.
Okay. So base damage was 8, wasn't it?
Base damage is 8, yep. And that's a body hit, I assume, because there's 7 on my 10's die.
It is indeed. Now, just a quick query. You are remembering to add your success levels, if any, aren't you?
Oh, what's damage?
Damage.
No, I hadn't been.
Yeah. So
that's 9 damage then.
Okay. So at the moment, I'm going to say you don't have any. What's the word I'm looking for? I hate words. Your levels of superiority, because you're literally just chasing after these guys. You've got no real. You don't know the area that well. You don't know. Actually, no, you did a test.
I did do a study of the area to map the tunnels and pathways. Yeah.
So we'll say you've got 1 success level. So that also adds on to your test if you want to, which would bump up to 1 extra point of damage.
Yeah. Okay. So he takes 10 damage and is inflicted with bleeding.
Now these guys are wearing some kind of armor, so it is reduced slightly. But your shot hits, and again, there's an oh noise followed by the sound of someone with a bleeding body wound having to run. So a little bit of bubbling in the breathing.
Squishy steps.
Yeah. Okay, so Zimian, it is your go.
Well, I'm sort of meandering along the back, sort of keeping up the sort of, the pretense of order. And so I will wander up to behind Roger and draw my pistol and use the Overwatch ability. So if anyone comes within short range of Hector, I will Overwatch them.
If you are taking it fairly easy, it's going to take you a few rounds to get to where they are.
You
There's a
know,
distance.
I don't, I don't want to wear myself out, but I'm not.
Break into a brisk jog.
Yeah, it's like when you do that thing when you're crossing the road and you take like 2 or 3 like hops, but it's not going to make any real difference in time for the car. That sort of speed. That's how I'm going.
No problem, no problem. So it'll probably take you a couple of rounds to get
Yeah,
to
so
where they are. But
I'll do that. But in the meantime, if anyone gets close enough to Hector who's going to cause him trouble, I can still Overwatch from where I am.
Currently no, because you're out of line of sight. So unless they hit them, unless they go from behind, then just quickly check something, because I noticed that Ben's had some issues with his camera.
Still good. It's still in the right places.
Awesomeness. Let's kill that. Right. Okay, so back round to the start, which is Zilch, who is appropriate because she was the next person in order.
Oh,
And I'm guessing you're kind of going at a reasonable pelt.
yep.
No problem. The sound of metal feet on decking probably is louder than the sound of the RBGs.
Well, I wasn't going in stealth, strangely.
But more to the point that you are effectively you're sprinting down the corridor with full metal augmetic legs.
Clonkety clonk.
Yeah. So you can get to the corner. You're going to be again slightly behind Tessera, but you can get into angle and use a major action if you want, or use your major action to do something else.
Yeah. Am I closer to shoot something?
You will be. I'm pretty confident you're going to be at disadvantage, however, due to range. Because again, this is going to be actually to that room. It's about 20 meters, I would say. So it depends on the range of your weapon.
Medium.
Medium is up to 20 meters, so you're lucky. So you're not
Okay.
at disadvantage. You can see a couple of guys. You're not seeing all of them. The ones further away are going to be a bit more like long range from you, but you can hit one of the guys behind. One has obviously been hit and has got blood going down the back. And there are others who haven't been. So, are you going for that one, or are you going?
Yeah, I should attempt to kill
steal.
Can I suggest that we let the injured one keep running and go for all the others, because then he'll leave a blood trail.
Okay. Is one of the other ones that's still
I can say that over the Vox bead.
Oh yeah.
No, shout it out loud.
There are at least 3 you can see, and only one of them currently has been injured.
I'll text it to the group chat.
Okay. The other one has
WhatsApp's going off.
the other one has a simple success.
Okay, no problem. Simple success is still a success.
So that will be 6 points of damage.
Okay, your what did you get in the units of your to hit?
2
So that's a left arm shot.
with my stub revolver.
No problem. The sound of a stub revolver going off is followed by the sound of someone else cursing as explosive sort of a bullet wound hits his arm. And
stub revolver is it's a gun. It's a modern gun, basically.
Saturday night
Works.
special kind of Saturday night special as it's called.
It goes bang.
It does indeed.
Yeah. It goes bang.
Makes whole another
hit something
person.
as well.
Yep.
They're not people, they're mutants.
Now let me just check something.
No offense,
Okay.
Simeon.
Sorry, am I a mutant now?
Psychers are considered mutants,
you've
yeah.
always been a
Oh,
mutant,
bloody hell.
Yeah, and don't forget I've got augmented legs, so
Those are a gift from the Omnissiah. That's totally accepted.
Yeah.
that's true. This is
The
true.
Imperium aren't renowned for their tolerance.
The room that they've gone into isn't lit very well, so they are vanishing into the darkness. Although I'm presuming from Hector obviously is still continuing move forward. Tessera, you don't have the issue. You can see them moving forward in the dark. So Hector, it is your go.
Okay. I will move up and fire.
Okay. So you can move up. That will get you effectively into short range.
And I will shoot an uninjured one.
No problem. You moving up to that point, you can see much better into the room. You can see they're splitting slightly. They're kind of moving apart, so not so close together. You can easily reach any of them.
I don't have a grenade or anything, so I'm just going to shoot one.
They don't know that. The two furthest ones are going to be more medium range from you, so up to 20 meters, because they're a bit further in. There's only one that that's close enough that you can attack.
I've got a long range gun.
Of the ones that you said you were going to go. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to shoot the nearest non-injured mutant.
Yeah, no problems.
Whichever one that is.
That's not me.
That's not Zimian, to clarify. the bad mutants.
Yes.
A 7, that'll do it. That is 4 success levels.
Okay.
So that's 12 damage.
And
the unit was a 7.
Yeah, so that's the body. So again, center of mass. So how much damage was it?
12.
12. Is that including the one level, the superiority level?
No, I didn't realize that did a thing.
Basically, you every round, as a reminder, because it's been a little while since we played this. There's a superiority level. Default is 0. You guys got +1 because of Tessera's thought problem solving that she did last time. That gives you a success level, and every round on your round you can claim it, and it's everyone can claim it on their round. It's not one person using it.
Right, so we can all use it.
You can all use it, and it's effectively +1 success level per point of superiority on the test you choose to use it on.
So another one then, 13.
13. I mean, to be quite honest, 12 would have killed it anyway. But it's kind of actually no, because of its armor, you just manage it. So no problem. Again, you fire off a shot, small hole in the back,
and his spine just moves in 5 different directions.
Yeah, I mean, you're hitting it from the back anyway, and it's kind of a reverse blood eagle kind of a thing.
Inevitable. Stop in the name of the Emperor. After I literally murder one.
Yeah. It goes flying forward, hits a stanchion in this room, folds around it, slides down. Okay. Oddly enough, they're going to just run faster if they can. Next is Tessa.
How many are left?
That you can see from where you are, 2. The other 2 have moved out. They're kind of spread out, and the two furthest away are moving more to your right.
Is the injured one amongst those 2 up the front, or is one of the ones at the back?
The 2 injured ones are at the back. So technically, the 3 injured ones, but the third of the 3 injured ones is so badly injured he's dead.
The least injured of the back 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna shoot that one.
No worries. So you take a bead on the one that Zilch shot.
Yep, that is 2 success levels, and 4 is, so it's a left leg hit for damage 10, bleeding.
Again, so that's including your success level.
That's including the success levels.
And the level of superiority?
Didn't include the superiority, so 11.
No problem. You shoot him in the leg. You hit him in the leg. If he was standing side on, you're fairly sure you take both legs. as it goes through one and out the other. But you shoot him in the leg and just collapses to the ground. And with your photo visor, you can see there's a brief, probably a couple of seconds at most, of femoral bleed, and then it just bubbles to a stop. Just gone, dead. Okay, that leaves Dr. Zimian.
Am I there yet? Am I there yet? Am I there yet?
If you're continuing going on the speed you're at, it will be next round you'll be able to get in and do something.
Oh, well, yes. No, I'm going to use, I've been reading, I'm going to use the run ability and mix that with my move allowance,
No problem.
and sort of whisper in Hector's ear,
You'll reach Zilch and Tessera first,
all right.
because they're
They
between you.
they don't get whispered. It's like, hey.
No problem. No problem. You can now see the door that Hector is at. And again, your next action, you can get to where he is.
Yeah.
From where you are, you can see one of the forms that he's obviously been chasing. Big bloodstains down the back. Not moving as fast as would be suggested by the distance that they've traveled already, but you have heard a couple of very loud gun sounds, which you're probably fairly familiar with by this point.
Yeah.
So
no, I've used run. I've used my action. I've used run plus movement.
Yeah, no worries. So the remaining mutants continue to try to run. You think the two mutants at the front are using the mutant at the rear as a shield as they continue to run, and you hear the sound of a door being wrenched open. This basically metal sliding door, like the one you guys got into that first, the room that we started this session in. Not quite as stuck as that one was, because they seem to be just using their own abilities, their own strengths to open it. But there's that sound. That was them on 5. Background to Zilch.
Are they out of range now, or are they still?
You were, I believe, at medium range, so they have moved. There's one still within long range of you.
So if I move action would get it back into medium?
Yep.
I'll do that then.
No worries.
Move and shoot. And somewhere a space squirrel falls off a twig.
A void squirrel is indeed
It wasn't
against
it wasn't a complete fumble, but I definitely didn't hit.
No problems. No problems. You should know better than attacking squirrels. What happened last time with the god of squirrels?
He came to visit. It was fun.
No problem. A fire. Again, the sound of the stub revolver goes off, followed by a much more subtle thud than you would expect. Probably meaning that there's some kind of extreme level of scum on that wall on the wall that it hits, or some kind of padding or something. Okay, so Tessera.
I'd best move up, I suppose, if I can't see anybody.
No problem. No problem. You can probably just about see the one that Zilch missed, because hasn't yet moved over to the right.
Oh, go on then. Let's make sure that the Arbites isn't being chased by anybody.
I think I am. It's just Simeon.
Okay, that's an 8. So it's like 4 levels of success.
+1 for
plus
superiority. I think we can say that
13.
Yeah, they had, ignoring armor for the moment, they had 3 wounds left.
Yeah, I think this. I need to probably stop using the expensive bleed arounds on people's legs, because it's not really leaving anybody for us to interrogate.
And you're fairly sure these guys are probably 2 sort of minuscule to worry about with such specials. But no problem. You yeah. That was an 8, was it? 08 or
Yes.
okay, so again body. So yeah. You open up several arteries as you shoot him, but the rest of the chest wound kind of also continues the bleeding and he collapses. Zimin, you are able to get behind Hector if you want.
Oh, I do.
I haven't gone yet, have I?
Yeah, you went ages ago.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. I thought Simeon went after I did.
Yeah, Hector goes after me.
Yes.
I think
Oh,
Roger's right.
No, yeah, I did. I do apologise, Roger. I did skip you. So, what do you want to have done?
All right, because we're on the same initiative.
I wish to move up and continue my pursuit of the two that are trying to get away.
No worries. What light do you have before?
I mean, I could see in the dark from my helmet.
Okay, right, no problem. So you can see them at literally just going through a door on the right hand side. It's kind of a diagonal shaped corner of this room, and they're just going through there. Actually, you're going to be well enough able to tell. They appear to be going into the room that you started this session in.
Oh, I see. Okay. Can I shoot one?
You can indeed.
Okay, I will do that. Whichever one is closest.
It's pretty much of a muchness, really.
Then dealer's choice. Whichever it hits, it hits. I'd say 22, which is 2 success levels.
And the left arm. So +1 for the superiority, and
Doubles crits in this, like they are in Woofer.
they are indeed a crit.
Oh,
Cool. So, all right. So, including
let's-
superiority, that's 11 damage plus whatever the crit does.
Okay, so 11 damage is not quite enough to kill him.
But it does knock him prone.
Yeah.
Because of my Arbite shotgun.
Yes, you will need to remind me that because my brain.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah. The other one stumbled. The last one stumbled, or possibly even died straight away. I can't remember. Okay.
Oh yeah, he just exploded.
Yeah. Give me a D10, please.
9.
Okay, because you aren't doing a critical as they've gone over their wound. It's just a dice roll. If you do that, the amount of damage that is, if you do 9 points of damage and they only have 3 wounds left, the 6
You get
gets
like
added
plus
to your
6.
critical. Yeah,
Makes sense.
no problem. So the blow devastates his hand, breaking bones and potentially severing fingers. I think we'll say yes. Fingers go
I think
flying.
I've just blown it off.
Yeah. This individual is bleeding major and drops any item held. So yeah, a weapon goes flying and his hand is mangled or missing.
It's not missing. There's some there, and there, and there.
Yes, a single finger, which is not one of those, is kind of flapped against the back wall and no problem. Okay, so Zimian, you are behind Hector finally.
Is there anything that I can shoot with my very loud pistol?
Okay, so they were at the door. You're at the doorway because I believe Hector was basically at the door in the doorway.
Yeah,
kind of area.
I did a full move and then shot them.
Yeah. So from the angle you're at, with the light from your servo skull, your monotask, yes, the room is now no longer dark. There is a skull with a bookcase built around it and multiple candles, and you can see there's one guy who is screaming and holding a wrist, and another one who's going through the door. There's actually a sixth individual that you guys had who'd already got through the doorway. That you had.
Did you say there was books and things?
No, there's the bookcase around your servo skull. That's how the look.
Oh yes,
the picture. Yeah.
Yeah. Right, no, then I'll shoot the nearest one with the loud gun.
No problem. There's two who are nearest. There's the one who has missing a hand and another one.
Oh, I'd like to shoot the one who's missing a hand because he's having an awful day already.
No problem.
84.
Before.
That's a no, by the way. I'm not.
Yeah.
Not,
Okay. You fire off a shot. It spangs off the rear wall.
But I'm awfully pleased because I got involved. So, you know.
No problem. Okay. Them on 5. They disappear out the door. The one who wasn't injured, who was kind of next to the guy, lost his hand, and the other one who'd already gone through, they are again treating this other guy as fodder. They're leaving him behind as a meat shield, so they continue to run. He's not as fast because I've been holding onto an arm, quite badly damaged. Zilch, background to you. You can't see any of them at this point, but the room is now lit.
Okay. So aside from bits of spattered mutants, is there anything else in the room?
There is,
And us, of course.
that's you're. I think Tessera and yourself aren't actually in the room yet. You're moving that direction.
Okay.
You hadn't reached it yet, but you can absolutely get into there.
Yeah.
Old machinery. Most of it, none of it appears to have power at the moment, or if it does, then it's been powered down and it's just on low levels of power.
Do I recognise any of it?
Looks like some kind of control room, probably a power distribution area.
Oh. Start poking around.
No problem. So effectively, you're taking yourself out of the combat.
Yeah.
Start.
You've given me machinery to look at.
No problem.
I need to figure it out and see if it is beneficial to the Omnisire.
No problem. So Hector and Zilch kind of goes past you, and you think she's about to head towards the door to chase after these mutants, but actually does a hard left to the nearby machinery and starts poking and prodding. Hector, on your initiative, would you like to do something?
Yeah, I'm running after the ones that disappeared through the doorway.
No problem. A move action, you can get to the doorway, or even through the doorway and possibly to one side, so you're not blocking anyone else. And that you can see them pelting their way across the room. They're trying to use the machinery and the things within that area as cover, but with all the detritus on the floor, they're not as fast as they would like to be.
All right. Kaboom. Whichever one's in front, if I can.
The one furthest away from you, no problem.
Because hopefully he'll trip over this. What was that? 63. I'm going to use a fate point to re-roll.
No problems.
28, that'll do. So that's 11 damage. The one in front, and he's knocked prone.
So you take aim. What was it? It's 28.
28.
Okay, so again, center of mass. You bring your weapon around, and you're just about fire, and you can tell it's not going to be a good shot. And then you feel a warm, comfortable hand, and you're almost lifting your hand in your aiming arm into the right area. You feel the Emperor behind you, and you hit, and inflict quite a nasty amount of damage to this individual. No, I was not a critical as the other one was, but he is badly wounded. He does fall to the ground, cursing and trying to scrabble up. I believe it is now Tessera.
I'll have to move up to catch up with Hector.
Yep.
And there's still 2 up and about.
There's one who's as you get to the doorway. Actually, what I'm going to say is because you were in position for a while, it's going to take you an extra. You're going to have to use both actions to get to where that doorway is, because Hector had already moved beyond that point. So if you want to, I will allow a snapshot as I allowed for Hector, which would be a shot at disadvantage. Or you can wait until next round and take a proper aimed shot.
Yeah, we'll try a snapshot. What's the worst that can happen? Eh?
No problem. You bolt across the room to the doorway. One of them has collapsed to the ground, or has been forced to the ground by by a shotgun. Another one is moving still, but may well be about to trip over his mate.
Okay, well, 27, so 72, so that is not a hit.
No problem. So a shot, unless you want to spend a fate point to re-roll.
No. Not at disadvantage.
No problem. You take a shot. You hit a nearby wall. A bit of steam comes out of a pipe that was behind that wall.
Even the pipes bleed when I shoot them.
Had you changed your ammunition?
No, I've got 6 rounds of that to fire. I could have switched to one of the others. There's now 1 shot left in the bleeder ammunition cartridge.
Oh, the radiator's bleeding.
Yeah, there we go.
But no problem. Simeon.
That's a lovely thing, Zilch. Very metally. Can I get... Oh, sorry, Hector, you thought that was the Emperor just standing behind you just then. I know you did. I can tell you did. Can I charge at the one who's prone? Is he in chargeable range?
Oh, that's a good question. I like that question. Adjacent zone. Yes, he's in an adjacent zone.
I'm just going to go through every action that's available, like alphabetically.
No problem.
Right. Yeah. When you charge, you can move as fast and make a melee attack with advantage. But I will have disadvantage on melee and reflexes test to defend yourself. That's not an issue. Zilch is right behind when she's finished looking at her metal thing. Yeah, so I'll charge, and can I just sort of jump on top of him with me? Oh, a melee weapon. I've got a sticky pointy thing, probably.
You can absolutely mount him with your staff.
Oh yeah, I will wallop him with my staff. Yeah, I will, like punting on the River Ooze.
No problem.
Yeah, I'll do that. So I'll charge. Watch this, Hector. This is our mighty stuff, probably. Yeah, do that and jump on him and hit him with my stick. And I do that at advantage, right?
You do. I'm not going to give him a chance to defend against a melee attack because he's currently scrabbling on the ground and not expecting to be jumped on by a psycho.
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 Oh, 16. I actually hit something.
Okay. So again, center of mass. What is your base damage?
Oh, God knows. Give me a second.
So you're going to get +1 at success level because of superiority.
Thank you. Staff 1+ strength. This is going to be a killer. 1+ strength bonus, and that strength bonus is 3, so it's 4 + 1, and my 16. So I got 2 extra success levels.
Okay.
4, 5, 7.
Describe how you kill this chap with your staff.
Absolutely. In the excitement of realizing that's what I'm going to do, that the warp has spoken to me, I take and I overshoot this guy, so I have to actually impale his head with my iron shod staff, like I'm actually punting in the river of my home.
Again, this is a body. This is a body.
Oh, right then.
Location,
yeah,
but...
I wind him.
Never. You basically, base of the skull, possibly. Into
absolutely. Yes.
So there's a horrible cracking and squelching noise as the psyker impales this chap on a iron shod staff. A squelch. Anyone who's looking out the door can see the purple blood sort of just gush up onto the lower layers of Simeon's clothing.
Oh gosh, I didn't realize that was going to happen.
Okay.
You gave him a stick, he wouldn't bleed.
Yeah. Can carry on. It's fine. Look, I'm enjoying the
You see, you
moment.
just don't look to the future. That's your problem.
No, that's fair.
Free action cricket clap.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Bow.
It would be Zilch's go, but Zilch is looking at the machinery, and this is taking her out of the combat.
Yep.
So Hector.
Okay, so they're all dead
sorry.
apart.
Sorry, I just realised one thing. I had forgotten him, the remaining one, who actually gets a go. Apologies.
Outrageous.
So, he is trying to escape, but a psyker has leapt in front and impaled his mate. So he is going to attempt to go past and hit Zimian with his blade that he's got.
Is this in the rules somewhere?
Yes. So he has failed with 3 success. He's got 3 negative success levels as he swings at you on his way past and fails to connect.
Do I not get something at disadvantage because I charge? Disadvantage on melee and reflex test to defend myself.
Okay, so do you wish to try to defend yourself
against someone who didn't hit you?
I see your thinking there. No, obviously, thank you for that.
No problem. I should have let you roll your defense if you wanted to do so, and then announced what I'd rolled. But that's yeah, never mind. So he takes he kind of runs. You almost recognize his style of movement as he tries to do that hoppy thing when you're at the crossroads and you look. So that was him. I believe that's back now. It is Hector.
Okay, well, not wanting to be outdone, I'm going to pull the shock maul and charge the last one.
You're going to try and do a kill steal.
This one hasn't been hurt at all. It's the last remaining one. You actually I was literally about to go to try and run the optional rules for shooting into combat because I was expecting you to shoot at him and he's close enough to Zimian. But no problem. You draw your shock maul and
get off our mutant, you filthy mutant.
I like that.
He may be a mutant, but he's our mutant.
Yes.
Cool. I have 81, but you get advantage when you charge. Otherwise, I might have just bombed.
If you're charging, yes, you do.
Yeah.
Excellent. So 18.
Okay, so I have rolled his defense as his melee defense, and gotten 1 success level. So bring yours down 1 success level, which effectively just ignores the level superiority.
Okay. That is my melee skill. Nil point. I see. So I get 2 success levels, so it'd be 1 success level, but backed 2 because of superiority.
Yep.
And that is 2 plus my strength level, so 5 and 2 from the other thing, so 7 damage. But he is stunned.
No problem.
Because it's a shock maul, so it's just.
Yeah. No problem. His armor absorbs some of the damage, but yeah, you're able to do that. And he's juddering from the
Take
shock
this scum alive.
No problem. Okay, so back to Tessera.
That's the last guy, and he's surrounded and getting the ever-loving crap kicked out of him. I am going to climb up on the machinery and go into Overwatch.
No problems.
Don't damage it. Don't damage it.
I'm not going to damage it. You won't even know I was
Why are you putting that foot?
My feet are tiny. It's fine.
Just push random buttons. Nothing can go wrong.
Look at half imagining Zilch going, "Don't step on it. Don't damage it. Oh, I like your shoes." Okay, so that leaves back to Zimian.
Well, already.
Yes.
Well, there's no one left, isn't there?
There is one person who is currently surrounded by.
There's one that's kind of
stood
there, kind of shuddering as he's getting electrocuted by a shock maul.
Yeah.
I don't want to touch that. Yeah, no, I will.
For what it's worth, if you attack it with your wood, your staff.
Oh, it doesn't. Yes. Sorry, I'm not
Are we
a
still doing
scientist.
phrasing?
But your stuff was
Yeah.
staff was iron.
It's iron
was-
shod.
It was iron shot.
Oh, that's
Okay,
right. That's just the end then.
Just the tip.
all right. Okay, I'll hit it with the other end, the non-iron shot end, probably. Yeah. Okay. I'll. Do we just want everything dead? If that's the sort of
I did say take this one alive.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I will listen to you this time and not murder it
No
or brush against it with my staff.
No problem.
Just poke him.
Because you're in melee, you're sharing a target with Hector, and B, because it's stunned, I'm going to give you advantage.
What do you want, Hector? What do you want me to do with it?
Take these
Toss
manacles.
down my
cuff-
manacles.
Cuff him.
Blank. Cuff
Now's
him,
not the
Banano.
time. Now's not the time for this, Tessera. We've got business to do. Yeah, okay, I will cuff him, Dano.
No problem.
Oh,
You get the manacles off of.
Enough to cuff both legs and hands.
No problem. You retrieve the manacles from Hector, and I'm going to say
Your first arrest.
take one wound as you're cuffing using these metal cuffs on someone who is electrical
Yeah.
powers running through him, but your armor will count.
I've done
Oh.
this enough times. I would take my finger off the button if Simeon's literally doing it.
Would you though?
Mutant.
Yeah, I'm
It has to be
arresting
safe.
so. Yeah, but I'm arresting someone.
He
So and
likes
Simeon's
arresting people
assisting
more
arrest.
than he likes tasing
assisting
you.
or resisting?
Assisting because I'm not trying to arrest Simeon.
That
Yeah,
said,
I was
if you've
just
ever
checking.
done electrofishing, we had to do it at university, and they made a very, very big point of insisting that before you pressed the button on the electronet, that you told everybody else so they could get their hands out of the water. Guess what didn't happen?
No, obviously. Yeah.
Yes, I can well imagine. And how much of that
19-year-olds tasing each other in the river.
Oh yeah.
Hector, can I rip its fucking mind out yet?
Yeah, well, now it's subdued. Feel free to. The word I would use is interrogate.
Yes, me too. That's exactly what I was thinking. The word is violate mind. No, interrogate.
You
Violate my.
manacle this individual. I'm guessing you're turning him over onto his back, so you can face to face.
It doesn't really matter however Simeon needs it done.
Yes.
What would Zimmy be turning him over so you're face to face with this individual, or?
I think that would be the polite thing to do, wouldn't it?
My mind to your mind.
Oh yes,
So-
there's a courtesy of arrest rules.
So you flip this person over, and initially this looks like this person is just a normal human, and then they open their eyes, and it's kind of these slit. Imagine the eye of Sauron, two of them within the eye sockets of his skull. That kind of a look.
That's why this one was so important.
And as he opens his mouth, the tongue is kind of looks like it's bigger than it should be, bigger than the mouth should normally be able to take. And an eye at the end of that blinks.
Oh,
That's just nasty.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure I need him to be conscious for this, so
And taken.
Yes, that was putting me off, that tongue and eye combination. Right, yeah, I would like to cast mental interrogation, also known as violate mind. And what do we sorry, because Simeon, what do you want me to ask? Or
Well, we're basically trying to figure out if there's any more of them, where they are.
What is his
Okay.
name? What is
If
your
we
quest?
can, if he knows anything about the traitor space marine.
All right, yes, that's
And the link to the crew, because we think there might be someone on the crew as well.
Okay, sorry, it doesn't really work like that. Just the amount of success levels I get. So I need to make a challenging discipline psychic roll.
So yeah, challenging is just flat.
Plus
normal.
0, isn't it? Yeah. So that's that much. And sorry, get my dice roller. Hold please. Yeah. 19. No.
That's
No
some
problem.
impressive mind violation going on.
Yeah, so that is I rolled a 19 and the target must make a challenge. Oh, so the target must make a challenging test opposing my manifest test. So he must make a discipline psychic roll.
Okay, so it's willpower.
I got 4 success levels.
Yeah, that was never going to happen.
Does that include superiority?
Is
Do we
that
still
still a
get that?
thing?
We're are we still in combat? It
It
technically
was
would be,
right at the
yeah,
end of combat.
yeah,
So yeah.
because you're last in this.
Yeah.
You can get it for this round. Obviously,
Thank you.
we'll go out of combat after this action.
Well, okay, sorry, I didn't really know how that works.
No.
That's right. That's fine. He failed his roll, so you get an extra success level.
Thank you. So that's 6. Oh dear. 6 plus successes.
That's
The
a lot of
target
mind.
isn't. Yes. He's not going to be very well after this. The
Um,
target is an open book to you. You have full access to the target's mind and information within.
Never.
Wow.
As you enter his mind, you're assaulted by many images. The rest of you see this guy's eyes open wider than a human's eyes should, almost to the point where the eyes, in fact, the eyeballs, which were, as previously described, come out on stalks. The tongue is at full extension, which is about 6 inches outside of the lips. The eyeball in the end of the mouth, the tongue is out on a stalk, and there's a little mouth underneath, and they are all screaming, with multiple voices, multiple larynx kind of noise.
I like that. That's not very nice.
Yes. Sleep. Yes.
Simeon appears to be enjoying this. What particularly are you after? Let's start there.
Roger, you know more than I do about what's going on generally in life. Tell me, can Roger do this vicariously through me, because he'll have more of an idea what he wants to know.
As a ref, I'm happy because you're not just going, bump, I know everything they know. You're probing their mind. So
yeah,
the other people can be asking him about, or that sort of thing. So that's fine.
So it's basically, are there other mutants? This would be the first thing.
Yes.
Where are the other mutants?
In the village.
Donde es la mutante?
Yeah, basically,
mutant.
we're basically trying to figure out how many there are.
Where is
also,
the village?
A good question is, why were they chasing the other mutant?
Hunting.
How charming.
Why were the fittest?
Do they know anything about the ritual circle thing?
Doesn't recognize the area you're referring to. But from that stuck door that Aaron opened, nothing beyond that they knew. So they knew nothing about where the lift came down, the room it came down into, and that room with the.
Find out where the village is.
Yeah. Have they ever seen a Chaos Space Marine?
Okay, so which question's been asked first?
Where's the village?
Where the village is?
The village is below.
I mean, I'm assuming we know an exact location because Simeon can literally look up how he got here.
Yeah. Basically, the next deck down. There's a central area.
Do we know where the down is? Because
you had already checked your map. There are 2 sets of stairs. There's a lift and there's a ladder well.
Because the lift we came down on initially didn't go any further south.
Yeah, there are other lifts. There's one other lift at the end of this part of the deck.
Oh,
this section of the deck. There's 2 stairs, and in the middle there's a ladder well.
Yeah, it's like the data slate's gone on the blink. I can't see the map.
Oh, you've not got that. There, you have one update.
Yes. Yeah, and it's out of Wi-Fi range. And I don't want to update. If I use the data on it, it'll screw it.
Has have they ever seen a Chaos Space Marine?
I'm going to say this individual doesn't necessarily understand that question, but
Well, I mean, it's not really questioning him. It's Simeon
Yeah,
looking through his
yeah.
mind.
Does he have a memory?
Has he
of-
seen a giant dude in lots of armor?
he's
Yeah.
seen two giant dudes in lots of armor fighting each other.
Oh, interesting.
Ooh.
I mean, I'd love to ask what they look like, so I would know, but my character wouldn't, so I'm not going to.
One of them had Hello Kitty logos on his shoulder.
That was the Chaos Space Marine.
Did they both look spiky?
No.
Okay.
One spiky, one not.
I need to. Rob doesn't. What's the difference?
One might
basically,
not have been a Chaos Marine.
There's Chaos Space Marines, which are the bad ones,
Yes, I got that.
and
But they're spiky. They have spiky
they're
armor and stuff.
spikier, yeah.
Okay.
Oddly
our
enough,
ones which are-
they have
From our
probably
perception, good
fewer
ones.
skulls, which means that they are good because they have fewer skulls.
Fewer skulls.
Unless they're Khorne Marines, in which case they probably have more skulls.
No. The loyalist ones have fewer skulls. They still have skulls, just less of them.
Oh, I thought you meant that the Chaos ones had fewer skulls because they branch out and use other things for decoration as well.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
gentlemen,
How many are in the village, and do they have a leader?
They don't have a leader. They are a cooperative, a filthy cooperative.
an anarcho-syndicalist
and-
commune.
From the images you'll get, this individual doesn't understand the concept of how many, but reading of his mind, you're gonna. There's probably about, including children, 40.
So we could probably need a purge team to deal with that. Can we tell how long it's been since he saw the giant armored people?
Very recent.
And was it on the ship?
It was. This individual has never seen not on the ship.
Do they have a contact with the crew? And you can look for someone in crew uniform as a way of identifying that rather than asking it as a question.
They do not.
Does
Their
he
whole
remember-
world ends at that bulkhead.
Did you remember what icons were on the Marines? Because although we won't know them, we might be able to report that.
If he's got an image of them, which I'll see, I can describe. He's got, Hello Kitties or whatever.
Sure.
I really hope
just
it is
draw
Hello
it out.
Kitties.
It'll be fine.
Oh god.
Yeah. What's the worst that could happen? The non-spiky one is in lighter colors and has a fist on the pauldron.
Well, I mean, when you say lighter, do you mean yellow?
Yes. The other one, black armor, lots of bits on the varying parts of the armor that look like horns or
Spiky and
teeth.
things that we're going to tell Simeon not to draw.
On one pauldron in gold there is an eye, which is part of an 8-pointed star, and also sort of at the belt buckle area, massive deformed skull on one neat pauldron, lots of chaos spiky bits and skulls on the chainsword and bolt pistol, although those terms obviously are more things you're familiar with.
Does he know how the fight ended?
It hasn't, to his knowledge. What you are seeing once you dig a bit deeper is that there's almost what's the best way to describe it? A ghostly, almost a weird, translucent aspect to this image that he's seeing.
So it could be a hologram that is playing on repeat that he's seeing.
Hey, that's cool.
I mean, Simeon would know what a hologram looks like. Was it a hologram that he was watching?
You're seeing something from someone's memory who doesn't understand what a hologram is. You're not necessarily going to get that much detail.
Okay. Gentlemen, one last thing. I fear we have scrubbed and dug and prodded, and we reach the end of this little segment. What do we do with the mind container?
Bang!
Ah, yes.
Did you give Simeon a chance to detach his mind?
Well, Zimian said he was done, so we
Yeah.
kind of took that as the green light.
Had you detached already at that point, or were you waiting for their?
Hey, I'm quite happy to roll something.
No, we'll assume you've
How about
done
you roll around on the floor in agony?
it. That's me just being mean because
No, all for it. Yeah, sure. So yeah. Oh, and his name was Steve.
I
But
knew
it
it.
doesn't matter now. Thank you. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed ripping his mind out.
Okay. You now have 6 scattered corpses of mutants. And you're back in the room you started.
Is there something we have to do? We have to like put a traffic cone up or the equivalent? You know, like whatever. Well, I don't know this world. This is the law, but whatever the equivalent is of like, does someone have to clear all this up now?
You
Yes,
pull
they'll
out a
call
couple
it like
of-
purge team, yeah.
Yeah.
They'll
Okay.
send people down with flamers.
Floor may be slippery.
Yeah, you pull out
Okay.
a spillage in an aisle and put it over the
It's
block.
just got, but it doesn't say warning slippery. It just says purge with fire.
Okay.
No problem. No problem.
Okay.
We need to check in with the inquisitorial
The commissar
representative.
thing, yeah.
If the commissar wants us to proceed to the village, or now that we know where it is, if they just want to send the purge team to go and deal with it.
I will remind you because it's been a week. Your instructions, because one of you, I can't remember who it was, whether it was Aaron or Roger, reported. I think it was Roger actually.
Yeah, I
reported back,
in.
and basically your instructions are
Carry on.
secure and repair the Gellerfield node, ensure there's no damage, and also the powers. Everything else is kind of almost secondary. So
Yeah,
you
but
can
we
get in contact with them again.
We
but
can
that's-
report in that we found
yeah.
it and say we're on our way to the Gellerfield, which is where we'll head immediately now.
Is the Gallerfield also in the village?
Uh,
Basically.
I really hope not.
he doesn't know what the Gellerfield node looks like, and searching his mind, there's a lot of images of crud encrusted bits of machinery and
Although, can we
pools.
compare the route he took to get here to the route to the Gellerfield on the map?
You can. In the last 24 hours, he has been nowhere near the Gellerfield, but he has been near the village.
Okay, that's fine.
Just-
So they're not in the same place.
Sorry, just remind me what a Gellerfield is. It something to do with the
It-
warp that makes
Yeah,
the ship
it's
go?
basically
Power
the
core.
machine that stops hell getting onto the ship. Because
Oh,
the
we
warp
need-
is basically hell.
Yeah.
Have you seen Event Horizon?
Yes.
Yeah, basically it's a big field that stops all of the horrible stuff happening.
Excellent. Okay.
And in fact, the warp is where you get your power from. Your
Yeah, that's what I
psychic
thought,
powers.
but-
Yeah.
But I still don't want hell coming in or anything.
No, that's
Nobody wants that.
I mean,
No.
you would be the last person that would want that in because they would go
Yes.
for you first.
I got there. Yes, figured that.
Cool. Yeah. So
Okay.
Don't worry, we won't let them take you.
Unless it's them or you.
I will come back to the commissar.
I rather meant we'd kill him first.
Oh yeah, no, I knew exactly what you.
Dance.
I'm here. I'm right here.
Danks confirms your message. Continue on your mission. Jan.
While they were messing around with those muties,
Mhm.
I've been examining this power core machine.
You have make a tech roll,
I did.
and your tech result was
11.
Oh, that's good.
cool.
It is
Okay,
the best, in fact.
I'm just
You think-
relieved it wasn't 99. And it's just self-destruct sequence initiated.
I got doubles. What was it? 0, 0, 0. No problem. So, what is it you're trying to do apart from figure out
Well,
what this is?
This apparently is a power.
It's a power distribution area. Yeah.
Yes. So I'm trying to see if it is suitable to be powered up for future use for the Great Omnisire.
With very small amounts of repair work, you could absolutely power this up. You're not entirely sure where some of the power runs that go from this area to transfer the power, what state they're in.
Yeah.
But certainly coming up to this area, you're confident that the power is hitting it fully, and you could
Yeah,
distribute.
considering it's not been maintained since like forever, I had to use some Warhammer 4040 on it to get some of the knobs going.
No problem.
It's the upgraded version of WD-40.
I got that.
Yeah, no problem.
So, but I've been lubricating and twiddling and manipulating levers and things, and I'm pretty sure that given 10 minutes and a good kick, I could power this up. But I won't do it just yet because we don't necessarily want to alert to the lower decks to the to it possibly working.
No problems. No problems.
So I'm going to sort of mark it on the data slate as 95% ready to action.
Okie dokie. Right. So it's 20 to 10. I'm happy to carry on for a little while longer if people are happy. If people want to carry on for a little while longer, we're at least 20 minutes before the end. But if people want to go beyond that, that's just let me know. So what are you doing? You cleared this particular thing. You've gone around. You've cleared some of the rooms around to your right.
Can I, when I was talking to the commissar, can I ask him if there's any records of an Imperial fist being on board?
I will investigate that for you and let you know.
Okay, thank you. And all right, in which case then we'll make a beeline towards the Gellerfield generator.
No problem. So you've got on either side, on either end of it, you've got assuming it's like a standard
Sorry, not my camera.
that's all right. A standard 4-point diagram. You're at the south. North is where the lift is. Down. East and west are the staircases, and right in the middle is where the stairwell is. So how are you? You know it's the next level down you need to go to get to this, get to both that and the power distribution lines. Which way down are you heading for?
Whichever way is quickest.
Which way? Where is the quotes village in relation to this?
The village is almost directly underneath where you are.
So we're going to be moving away from it.
Yeah. Basically, I mean, the ladder well, which is basically directly in the middle, would by default be the closest because you'd have to get to that to go to, or get past that to go to any other methods to get down.
But going down a ladder, we will be in single file, and potentially it could be injurious to health because if someone's at the bottom. Am I misthinking about a ladder well?
Although if you were to go down the ladder well, you can use your mechadendrite, especially if you were first, to look around the bottom top.
How far down is it?
The ladder well is going between decks, so it's probably a good 20 meters. But if you climb partially down the ladder well, you can see where you're going anyway with your optical mechadendrite. And before you even reach the next ceiling, you could use your mechadendrite because that's about 3 meters or something long.
3 meters, yeah.
Yeah, so you could look down beneath you and sort of investigate before you head.
Okay, I didn't want to sort of, let's go down there and then find that shooting fish in a barrel takes place, you know.
Yeah, no worries. So is that where you're heading for?
Well,
if it's the closest.
I'm happy with the shortest route, but you know,
unless looking at the map, the shortest route involves definitely not crap loads of ambush territory.
To be fair, on this map, there is crap loads of ambush territory all over.
Compared to the other one.
Yeah.
I mean, if they both look equally dangerous, then it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. No problem. So you head in that direction from the sounds of things. Can I have from everybody? Let's call it an athletics test. It's going to be plus 10.
Plus 10 in our favor or plus 10 in our disfavor?
Plus 10 is always in your favor.
Yeah. Otherwise, it'd be minus 10. I pass with no success levels.
Uno success.
I pass with a success level as well.
I fail.
Okay, which is actually quite appropriate, really. No problem. So you're moving through which any particular order or just?
I'd probably be at the front.
I'd be last.
Oh, you never want to be at the back, Simeon.
Do you want me to go at the front
No,
as a spotter?
I mean,
will-
if you want to
I'll
go ahead
protect
and scout,
Simeon.
that's fine.
I'll protect Simeon.
Heck.
I mean, if Tessera wants to scout, then Tessera can go on ahead a bit.
Yeah, Tessera should do that.
And then I'll be at the front of the group.
No problem. So you move forward in that order. Tessera, Hector, and then at the back, kind of side by side, Dr. Simeon and Zilch.
Oh, actually, I have advantage on tests for that because it's burglar.
Cool.
Breaking and entering, climbing exteriors, quietly breaking into places. It's still the better roll, but
sure.
It's the thought that counts.
So you move through the area. Just so you're aware, Ben, as you're kind of moving, you seem to be leaning in one direction, and you're kind of coming out of the box slightly, just so you know. I do the same thing myself.
It's only 90 centimeters across the cupboard.
But you move forward in this order, and I mean, there's a lot. Again, there's detritus all over the floor. The skulls. There are other bits of
Waste skulls.
yeah, finger bones,
What wasted good
femurs.
skulls?
Yeah. Remains of food packages or bits of machinery or all manner of bits and pieces. A slick of probably oil that's probably leaking out of a not massive leak, but like a tiny leak of oil that's coming out of a pipe somewhere along this area. So it's all fairly grungy and there's a little bit of give, and you all notice this as you go along. But as Simeon and Zilch are moving along behind the very heavy orchimetic feet of Zilch, there is a crunch underneath as your foot goes through a slightly, how do I put it, delicate area of decking that's slightly given way. Effectively, you've taken a bit of damage to that foot. We'll call it one wound for purposes of, but it's more easily repairable for you, obviously.
Yeah. I just barefoot out of my backpack and stick it on.
Yes, dear. No, you'll need to repair it.
I can do that.
No problem. This is probably, unless it becomes a real problem down the line, I say you take a lot of damage, it's probably more likely going to be a thing you do between missions.
Yeah.
But continuing on, you become aware of something as you're moving forward. Tessera, you notice that there appears to be some kind of line. You start noticing it. You almost don't notice it to begin with, and then it sort of gets a bit more noticeable, a bit fuller. It's along the floor. You're probably about 20 meters from the room that the ladder well is, and you notice this line is throbbing. Only minutely, but it is throbbing.
Okay, that's horrifying. I will call the tech priest up to come and have a look at it. I have a line here that is doing something. I hope it's technical.
Okay.
Actually,
So,
Dr. Simeon, you'd best come and look at it as well in case it is not mechanical.
Hector, what are you doing?
Well, I'm going to go up and, so, you know, I'm going to...
Okay, so you're all gathered around this thing. No problem. So no problem. Zilch, this is not mechanical at all. It's on deck plate. It's on.
Yeah.
You know, you're within a ship, but this thing looks organic, and you're not a major biologist, I don't believe.
No. Nah.
Simeon, yes.
Meat bag stuff.
This thing is fleshy, but you know,
it's fleshy. It's not my department.
Well, okay, then it definitely should not be here. There should be nothing pulsating fleshily on the deck here.
Everyone looks at Hector.
I think Hector and Tessa are probably looking at Dr. Simeon.
My professional opinion is that's nasty.
Right. So I have this thing's senescience or science.
Sinesians.
Yeah, okay. And it allows me to But you've already said I don't get a sense this is of the warp.
I didn't specifically state that in this
No,
particular
you
case. And yes, I'm not even going to make a dice roll. This is you're only getting traces of it, but this is definitely of the warp.
Okay, will I just see what Sinus tells me I can do? Briefly, Assiniscients can be trained to use their connection to the Imperium in order to discern areas where real space is being or has been disrupted due to the intrusion of the warp. I can detect the presence of warp entities and locate other psychers. Okay.
What is the range?
It do not say.
1 million kilometers.
All of the universes.
I would guess that's probably related to some success levels, possibly.
Dr. Simeon identifies every single warp thing in the entire galaxy.
And
This may
his head
take-
explodes.
Wait,
This may
you guys,
take a
I
while.
think I found the Astronomicon.
I don't know what it is, but it sounds good.
Oh no, it's the Emperor. He's
Basically,
actually dead.
Psychic lighthouse.
Oh, right. That's going to be awful. Gonna get
No,
me
it is. It's
migraine.
horrifying.
Yeah.
They power it by putting people like you into it and just
Oh,
setting
they
them
do
on
like
fire.
a million a
Uh,
week or something,
It's
isn't
like
it?
it's a pretty charming place.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. You haven't yet developed enough to be worth feeding to the Emperor. They need to sort of cook you a bit more before you're ready.
No, to be fair, it's they normally do the ones that are a bit more
Yeah.
expendable.
Yeah, you're not weak enough for the Astronomicon and you're not strong enough for the Emperor. You're in that happy little middle groove where they
Yeah.
probably won't kill you for food.
Yeah, if you're
Mhm.
powerful enough, they'll kill you for being too dangerous. If you're not
Mediocrity
powerful
rules.
enough, you get fed to the golden throne.
Well, that's an excellent career advice, chaps.
I hate my brain.
Don't get too good.
I hate my brain because Roger saying that my brain has gone a whole different direction with the Golden Throne.
Well, it shouldn't be that different a direction since I've heard stories that the Golden Throne might actually have been based on a toilet in the original HQ. So
Would not have been surprised.
nope.
No. Okay, so you're looking at this thing. I'm presuming you're continuing to move forward.
Yeah.
No problem.
Um,
You move forward following this
Is
line.
it following? Is it leading to where we're going?
It is leading to where you're
Oh,
going.
this does not sound good.
It's leading to where we're going.
What is it? Like
it,
a flesh hose?
it looks like some kind of vein.
Oh.
A
No,
These
really,
are supposed to
I
be
was
on the
thinking-
insides of people, not the outsides of ships.
I was thinking
Yes.
some kind of a tendril. Am I?
That's not better.
No, but tendrils can be chopped off.
I mean, we could chop this off, but we kind of don't want to advertise us at the moment. I think.
Yeah,
No.
but it's ooey. It's iffy.
Yes, it is, and we definitely want to kill it with fire once we know more about it.
I have an interesting suggestion.
I
Right,
don't
shall I get
suggest
Shaggy?
mind probing the gooey thing.
Gosh, Hector, it's almost like you can read my mind.
Shall I prepare the exterminator?
Well, for when we get there, probably a good plan.
I meant for the fleshy thing, you know.
I mean, there's a lot of fleshy thing.
Yeah.
So, are you doing anything here, or are you going to continue moving?
Let's
Moving
continue on.
But yeah, if Simeon thought it was demonic, he'd know enough to know that you do not want to probe into the mind of a demon.
Righto.
So you continue following this thing, and it becomes not massively big, but it does become bigger as you go further in, and it wanders in the way that veins do within the body. A couple of sort of outcroppings every now and again.
Oh, I take it we're kind of walking carefully so we don't accidentally tread on it.
I'm happy for you to be sensible and not treading on it as best
Because
possible.
we don't want to alert whatever it's attached to that we're here. So I'm
So
guessing
when-
stamping on it might sort of give them an idea.
When bits go off, are they smaller, bigger, or the same
They're
size?
smaller. They're kind of a little.
So this is
outcrop.
almost like an artery.
And our
If
little bee
anyone
thing.
has a Medicaid kit, we could disassemble one of my bleeder rounds and inject the anticoagulants into it.
If it of the warp, it's probably not biological in the way that
Blood
your
is
bleed
blood.
arounds might. But I mean, warp stuff isn't blood.
True.
Warp stuff is made of pure nope.
But if it's manifesting in the form of blood, it may be conforming to the physical rules. A
Maybe, I mean-
suggestion, anyway. You know what? Dr. Simeon, do you have any medical skill?
Yes.
Which I'm just going to give him
Um,
the last bleed around.
I
out
do.
of-
I have Medicaid skill, but I don't have a Medicaid kit.
I'm not that kind of doctor, I'm afraid. Give it to
I have
show
the
the
skill,
dead.
but I don't have a medical kit on me.
Do you have something spiky that you can squish this into?
I've got a knife.
All right, I'll just keep the bleed around as is then.
No problem. So you continue moving forward, following this thing. And I mean, literally, you were not many meters away from it. And as you reach the doorway, as you're moving closer, Zimin, you're feeling more and more this. It's almost like a pressure on you, but in other ways, it almost feels like your powers should be. You can almost feel more power available to you. There's more juice to pull from.
More power.
And as you get to the doorway, you can see that over around the door sill, and within the room that you can see, looks like the walls look like they've been made from rotten flesh and organs.
Don't like that.
That's
not nice.
just nasty.
And as you get to the door and can see that, can everybody make me a toughness roll? This is to avoid corruption.
Just toughness or anything else?
I will allow toughness or discipline.
Oh, thank God for that. That does not matter.
That either doesn't matter because you would have succeeded either way, or it doesn't matter because you have failed.
I have failed.
One of these, we've got fate points which you can use.
Yeah, I was
Fortune
about to
points, a
say
bit like Wolfrup. You can do X number of rerolls per session.
you can spend a point of fate to immediately re-roll and take what you rolled secondary, or in certain cases you can burn it to avoid certain things like death.
Yeah.
I will spend a fate point. Do they refresh per session?
Per session they do.
Think
Oh,
of it-
right. I've been
Unless you
conserving
burn one,
them
think
a
of it
lot
like
more.
Wolfrup. You
Yeah.
can burn one to not die, or use one to
That
reroll.
is a totally different kettle of fish then, and I'm glad I spent that fate point because instead of it being 78, it's 3. Which, against my discipline of 37, is 3 levels of success.
Perfect.
Discipline 52 rolled a 46.
Okay,
I also succeeded with 1 success level.
no problem.
One success level.
Just
No problem.
go psychically
So
tough.
you get to the doorway. You can feel the ick, as Roger was putting it, the nope, radiating off of this room. And as you look into the room, at the far left corner there is what is obviously. Actually, let's rephrase that. I was going to say obviously a ladder well. It's an orifice. It looks like a bodily orifice, but it is where the ladder well should be based on your map. In the middle to the right, you can see a fight between a space marine wearing yellow armor with a big black fist on a couple of locations, bolt pistol in one hand, chainsword in the other, against a black armored, spiky, big sort of black thing with his red hair coming out the top, fangs down to his chin, chainsword in one hand, bolter in the other, a ghostly blue glow. They look like they are not quite within the area of reality that you are.
Has to be the Emperor and his angels.
So other than all of the ick and this kind of weird projection-y thing of the 2 space marines, is there anything else in the room?
As I say, there's the orifice in the bottom, in the far left, and at least 1 or 2 doors leading off.
And Do we know? I mean, is this the room where the Gellerfield's supposed to be?
No, this is the orifice. The orifice is where the ladder well is down to the next level, which is the next level's where you need to get to the Gellerfield.
See, I don't know about you, but I don't particularly want to climb down a demon's butthole.
I don't know whether this will show or not, and I will show you the image I found online for the black armored chap.
It shows a little bit there.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Pretty funky.
So that's kind of
I wonder
Are
if
these-
you
are these
put a
actual
bullet
people, or
through
are they
there.
sort of
If
animated to
Well,
carry on fighting?
it looks like a spiritual apparition of people fighting. Roger, you were asking something.
I was going to say, Sarah, is it worth you trying to see if bullets work through that? Pointing at the apparition of the Chaos Marine.
To be clear, the one in the black armor also has the 8-pointed star with the eye shape.
Yeah. The
See,
spiky one's the
above
bad
the
one.
table for Jan and Rob, it sounds like it's either a hologram, in which case, Jan, that's your wheelhouse.
We'd know
But it
what a
probably
hologram
isn't.
was.
It sounds more like it's happening on a different level of reality, which means it could be happening adjacent to us in the warp somehow, in which case it's more of a psychic-y thing for Dr. Zimian.
Can Dr. Zimian give me a psychic mastery test? I'm going to say that this is you have advantage on this.
All right, so Soppy Randy.
Weird,
Yeah,
warpy,
yeah.
timey-wimey, chaos-y thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
99. And with advantage, it's 99.
Oh, God.
Do you wish to re-roll that?
Yeah, I should, as much as fun as that is.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
the other option is you turning into a giant fleshy gate and demons walking through.
I mean, yes, I'll roll again.
That's an option, but we're only 2 sessions in here.
Yeah,
29 this time, which is
that's
slightly,
better.
which is
That's
3
better.
levels of success.
Okay. So with that, you can feel that you are at a point within this area where there is clearly a pinprick hole in the Gellerfield from what you're detecting. Some damage has been done to the Gellerfield node, and there's a tiny pinprick, which is why the walls are as icky as they look, where all this chaos stuff. And the two Marines fighting are actual beings. One is full psychic, the other one isn't. The one that isn't is the Imperial Fist, for those who haven't picked up on the not so subtle suggestions and descriptions. And the demon's butthole, as it has been described, is literally just it's a part of the weirdness of how the warp has warped this room.
So are these people in a parallel universe, or are they just somewhere else and we're seeing it?
Yes.
Excellent. And that's the type of dances in your life.
The warp is an odd thing. It can kind of distort both time and space. There's been instances of people entering the warp at one point in time and re-emerging a completely different one, like either
Gotcha.
earlier or later in time.
People have arrived at their destination before they left.
I like it.
Because chaos.
Yeah.
See, again, above the table, would we not try and aid the Imperial Fist by bringing him through to this reality?
Well,
Do
that's
we
how
not have that scope?
How much of this conversation is being held in character, and how much is out of
Yeah,
character?
in character, Tessera would be
that's what I was saying.
incapable of functioning for this conversation. She wouldn't know this stuff.
Do you want to? That's why I said, do you want to try putting a bullet through the black spiky one?
He's not really there, though.
It may work. It may not.
Dr. Simeon, will it work if I shoot him?
I don't know.
A horribly gravelly voice coming from what appears to be where the Imperial Fist is said, "It will not assist. Make your way to your mission objective. I will hold this here."
Does he outrank us?
By a lot.
Yes, he
Right.
does.
Oh, right.
He
Okay,
speaks
then.
with the Emperor's voice. We
Yeah,
go on.
we're not arguing with one of the Emperor's angels.
And he just said, go down the butthole. We go down the butthole.
I must want to go down the bottle.
No, neither do I. But one of the Emperor's angels told us to. And we are nothing if not faithful servants of the Emperor.
Okay, so let me just quickly check the stat block I have here. As within my notes, I have said that they will
Stats for the butthole.
Some of the things which will happen from these two individuals may affect party members. I have rolled the dice, and there is going to be an effect. So
The
traitor
butthole
legionary.
farts.
I wonder if transhuman dread is still a thing in this. Because in the original games, Space Marines are so scary, even loyalist ones, that you have to take fear tests if you're near
Oh,
one.
wow.
I am using
Not helping, Rog. Not helping.
I'm using stat blocks. I'm using stat blocks that were created by an individual on one of the Discord channels, because there aren't actually a massive amount of stat blocks within the game itself. I'm hoping they'll expand that. But in the stat block I have, it
inevitably.
absolutely has transhuman dread. So if you wish to make that's actually the Legionnaires there anyway. Would everyone please like this? The legionary, by the way, is wearing Mark 7 Aquila power armor, if that makes a difference. Can everybody please make a -20 discipline fear test?
I mean, I can certainly try.
Yes, I passed just.
So another thing you can do with fate is spend one to add 1 success level to a test after the roll. You can choose when to act in a round. Ignore all effects from all critical wounds until the beginning of your next turn, or remove 1 condition.
I did a fail.
Okay. Do you wish to
Sorry.
Do you wish to re-roll?
I think I will try a re-roll.
No problem. Rob.
18 out of 52, so 4 successes.
No worries. Jan.
Was it fortitude or which one was it?
It was discipline fear.
I don't have fear as a skill.
Just a discipline roll then.
1 success. 23 out of 34.
Perfect. Roger, you succeeded, yes?
Wasn't it -20?
Yes, it was -20.
Sorry.
Okay, can I spend a fate point to make that into a success?
You can, no, unfortunately, you can spend a fate point to add 1 success level. So if 1 success level would make a difference, which I doubt, then that would work. Otherwise, you can spend a fate point.
I got 1 success. You said it was
-20. So -2 success levels effectively.
I've got 1 success level. It's not going to work, is it?
What? Actually, no. If it's 1 success level, -2 because no, it becomes -3 plus 1. Yeah, no. You could spend 1 to re-roll.
I still did a fail.
Yeah, I'll spend 1 to re-roll and.
I passed with no success levels.
No problem. Is that after the -20?
Mm-hmm.
No problem.
My prayer to the gods worked.
No problem. You see this thing, all of you. For a second, zilch, this horrifying image of this chaos spiky bit traitor legionary, which means he's been around since the Horus Heresy 10,000 years or so before.
We probably wouldn't know that. It's not common knowledge.
No. This thing, as much as that is also for players, as much as the characters, because not everyone is as familiar with the lore. For a moment, you can feel the dread of this thing on you, and Tessera, you absolutely do. As you are about to be as fearful as you have ever remembered being, you feel a warm hand on your shoulder as the Emperor protects. Unfortunately, Tessera, because the second roll wasn't successful, he's busy shielding
them.
Zilch, and doesn't help you. You have fear, frightened, as a condition, and frightened. It doesn't say it's major or minor, so I'm presuming it's only minor to begin with. So frightened minor, disadvantage on tests to confront the source of your fear. But apparently, you also get
that disadvantage on weird buttholes then.
No, it's the traitor marine at the moment. But you do apparently get advantage on awareness and intuition tests. because you're frightened.
Hector cracks an inappropriate joke, making use of his gallows humor talent, and I get to make a challenging rapport test. And if I pass, then Tessera will lose the frightened condition.
No problem. Before you do that, this is happening at the same time as a shot is being fired by the traitor legionary. One of the things, as I said, there is a chance of them affect some of the fight affecting you guys.
Okay.
One of these, one of the attacks of this Black Legion Marine is going to affect Tessera, randomly rolled. So,
oh no.
yeah.
Bolt
So,
rounds.
Don't worry,
No.
guys. I've got a whole point of armor.
and at least one other,
I'm not
at least
sure
one other
I'm not
generated
sure
character.
my armor would make any difference.
So this is
So I still have a fate point as well.
okay. Yeah, that will help.
That does make a difference.
I
I've
have
got a level in Medicaid.
I've got.
It doesn't help if he's spread over a 200-foot radius.
I have 3 success levels on my tier.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's 8 plus success levels.
Right.
Damage. Loud, penetrating for
Am I allowed
rapid.
to try and dodge?
By the rules, I don't believe you are.
Okay.
However, if you wish to spend a fate point, I will allow you.
No.
Actually, no. If you've got the dodge, you absolutely can. Sorry, it's been a while. Yes, you can. Dexterity dodge is a thing. So
I
you
do
can
not
attempt
have
to dodge.
dexterity with a specialism in dodge. I just have dexterity.
I don't think you absolutely have to have the specialization in this game.
Okay.
Make the roll.
Make the roll.
Please make the roll.
Well, it's a fail either way, but it's a crit, so
No problem.
it's double screwed me.
As part of the transhuman dread, by the way, it also says you lose -1 superiority. So effectively, Ben, you're at -1 superiority.
Yep.
That's
So
you.
I got a 66, which is topical.
Okay, so critical fumble.
Not the younglings.
No, critical fail rather. So, how many success levels did you fail by?
My dex is 44, so that's what, 2?
Okay, so that brings the base damage up to 10 plus his success level. So that's 12 damage.
That's a lot.
Ignoring
That's a
4
lot of
points of
damage.
armor.
Okay, I only have 1 point of armor.
Yeah. It is also spread, but I'm not going to worry about it for the time being. You are hit and burst. You are hit by a bolt shell in the
Everything.
right leg, although everything probably is affected. And there is
You don't need 2 legs.
after the moment of impact, which is painful enough, dull throb, boom. So, are you
Wait,
still?
that's my leg.
Did you need that?
You can, if you want to, burn a fate point, which includes if you spent them. That's fine. Just lowers your maximum that you can have. To do one of a number of things. Most importantly, you can spend it to ignore the to hit. They missed. The Emperor protected you. Or you can take the damage and just you're down to 0 or down to however much damage. You don't take a critical, you're not as badly damaged. The latter one is more if you are killed, as it were.
I mean, if he's still up, it's probably not worth burning it.
I don't actually know how many wounds I have. That's one of the things I failed to note. What is
Okay,
it?
so it's twice your toughness plus your strength and will bonuses.
Twice toughness is
Twice toughness bonus
6.
plus strength bonus plus will bonus.
Strength 9, will 12. So I'd have 12 wounds.
Yes, and you just took 12 wounds.
I just took
Minus
12
toughness
wounds.
bonus. Oh no, you don't minus toughness.
No,
in
you
this,
don't
do you?
minus in this one, no.
And it
their armor has
ignores
been
my 2
ignored.
armor from the armored body glove.
So you would be taking a critical at this point.
Yes. Now, here's an interesting and fun fact. I have flagellant.
Okay.
So even with my leg blown off, I could still potentially act.
Okay.
So if I take all 12 of my wounds, then what?
You are, if I recall correctly, basically out of the fight for the moment. You could spend a fate point, burn a fate point to ignore that, so you don't take the damage. don't take the critical, you're able to continue moving and acting, or you could
I don't want to burn a fate point. No.
yeah. Let me just quickly check. I'm fairly sure with down to 0, you are out of it. Exceeding wounds. If you suffer wounds that would exceed your maximum wounds, you suffer a critical hit. So you're on 0, you continue to act, but you don't take a critical until the next point of damage. Or the
Okay,
next successful hit.
that's good to know. All right, I need to make a challenging theology roll. Wow, I wish I'd spent more points in theology right now.
I'll pray for you.
Where even is theology?
It's probably a full law.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
a law. It'll be intelligence.
Oh, in which case, that's a 9. Huzzah. Yay, flagellant. I can ignore the effects of any critical wound for a number of rounds equal to my willpower bonus. My faith sustains me.
No problem. So what, Roger, you're about to do a thing to cheer up Tessera before the bolt shell hit.
Yeah, so basically I crack an inappropriate joke and or say some kind of terrible pun, and then I get to do a rapport test, and if I pass, the fear condition is removed.
Do I still take a critical wound?
No, because you haven't gone over your wounds.
Okay.
You haven't exceeded. You do that bit. I just need 1 second. I'll be back in a moment.
Luckily, I'm quite good at rapport.
Somebody pick that leg up.
It's not right. Walk it off. 22. Yes, that is a success. I'm not sure a crit makes any difference here, but you remove the fear condition.
Roger's rolled successfully.
Pretty funny, actually. Yeah, we're going to get us some badass points right here.
So your leg's blown off. But Roger's
No,
just
holding
apparently
it-
it's not. It's just horribly mangled.
You've
Oh,
probably
right,
got
that's
like
fine.
a
I
large.
can repair horribly mangled.
Yeah.
I suppose thematically, it probably just winged you, and you just have a large chunk missing from your leg. Because if it had gone in and detonated, you wouldn't have a leg. Bolt shells
But-
make people go pop.
Yeah.
Oh, very lucky.
I was very lucky.
Did you not have to make death saves or something?
Only
No.
if you go over your wound limit and get into critical injuries.
Yeah,
Okay, so you can wander around with zero wounds.
Wander, not so much. More drag.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a shame I left my spare leg back in the barracks. Otherwise, I'd have let you borrow it.
That just gets awkward after
I don't
a
know that
while.
we have the necessary to do the surgery in this disgusting fleshy pit.
But try.
To be fair, there's probably all the bits they need here.
I've got a combi tool.
Apologies.
And
Don't
a
worry, I've got my
qualification in
Swiss
medic.
Army knife.
Got a Swiss Army knife and a room full of gore. Who needs patching up?
It's all
Okay,
right.
so
I told him it was just a little flesh wound. He can walk it off.
no problem.
Yes.
So that was a part of basically a spraying of shots from the bolt bolt pistol. That most of them, it's almost like a bubble around these two as they're fighting, and most of them impact the side of the bubble, and it's almost like they go out of view as they hit the edge of the bubble. But one of them goes through the bubble without bursting it and hits Tessera, almost like a sort of a shadowing effect, or the one that got through the little hole in the Geller field kind of a thing. So what are you doing? What's your initial plan?
Let's get out of here. Generally try and bundle Tessera away from the giant angry pile of hate.
No problem. The Marine is
Time to go through the butthole.
as soon as that first shot hits Tessera, the Marine kind of maneuvers his body to kind of block the weapons of the Black Legionnaire. Run!
Yeah, okay. I don't
Yeah.
return twice. Yeah.
With on this leg?
I mean, we were about to go. We don't want to go down there, but now it's like Space Marine butthole, Space Marine. Oh fuck!
I will go down first because I can use my decadendrite to check things are safe at the bottom.
They're going to be safer than
Unintended.
they are up here.
No problem. So you scuttle over there as quickly as you can. Zilch sort of starts going down this orifice. The ladder itself seems almost like it's made of bone when you get in, and there is a horrible noise as you guys enter into it because there is almost a sphincter like entrance to the ladder well. Doesn't take a lot of effort to get through it. It's very loose. I really need to check my language.
This is poetry. This is poetry.
It's a Slaneshi ship.
You make your way down the ladder well, no problem. About halfway down, you realize that the ladder is now metal and the sheath of flesh and horribleness is no longer there. You're not entirely sure when it stopped being there. You were more concentrating getting down this ladder that to really pay that much attention. And when you get to the bottom, Zilch, you extend your mechadendrite looking around. The floor, there are areas of the floor which is higher than others. You think mostly because things have been stacked on the floor or possibly holes made in the floor. The areas which are lower seem to have like water or some kind of liquid in them. Looks quite still. It's just like a pools of liquid. But other than that, you're not seeing any dangers immediately.
Okay. I report this back up.
Oh, we're already following. I think
Yeah.
we're not staying up there with the.
No. I was just letting you know that it seems to be there's nothing down here apart from some gunge and puddles.
How far are we from the Yellowfield generator? So we've got to get that fixed like right now.
Yeah, I mean you're coming down. You're getting to the lower deck, roughly in the middle of the lower deck, basically the two decks above, and it's right in the center. You've got, well, it's not actually a massive. Ignoring from as the crow flies, as it were, you're probably less than 100 meters. You probably have a bit more than that to go around with corridors and the like, but.
What's his face? What's her face? Are they sort of able to walk, and Tessera and
Tessa is able to move because she's at 0 wounds, which is not actual proper. Basically, you got wounds, and then you got injuries. Wounds are more. I take them more to be minor injuries sustained over combat. It's not a massive amount. Injuries, when you get into critical injuries, is when you've taken more than just a flesh wound here and there.
Mm-hmm.
So my lack of armor probably saved me because the bolter went all the way through before exploding.
Quite likely. So I'm assuming you all drop down onto go down to the bottom.
Yeah.
Standing in the liquid. No problem. Liquid appears to be mostly water, or water-based liquids.
Yeah, I'm not looking too closely at the goo.
There may be a little bit of oil or some such in there. And I think that's a good place to call it because it is now coming up to 10:30.
Yeah.
So does anybody want to plug things moving forward?
So next Thursday at next Wednesday at 9 o'clock, we are playing a one-shot of Marvel Zombies for a Halloween special, which will be being run by Aaron. So I expect the party are going to have a bad time. We'll have a great time as players, but the party will have a terrible time. Other than that, I don't know what else is happening. Is anything happening on Tuesday? No? Okay. So, yeah, just that next week until we return to Imperium Maladictum next Thursday at...
To be ankle deep in goop.
8 p.m. Right.
Same bat place, same bat time.
Although
Indeed.
do bear in
that
mind
is-
that if you're on Americanian time, that our clocks are going to be changing this weekend and yours won't. So time is going to be very timey-wimey over the next 2 weeks.
Yes.
Yep, we will be returning to standard GMT as of Sunday.
Yes, gin and tonic, always good.
Yep.
So thank you all for playing. Thank you, hopefully everyone, for watching, and we will see you next time.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Toodles.
Cheers.
Bye bye.
Bye.